What is real? You think it's what you can see, what you can touch, what's in front of you. But that's not the whole picture, is it? Because the meaning you assign to something determines how you live your life in relation to it. You don't see a cliff, you see a falling off place. You don't see chaos. You feel fear. You don't see time. You feel it slipping away. And in this modern world, the most dangerous illusion is that you have time to waste, that you can drift, that you can exist without purpose and still somehow be okay. But you can't, because life is difficult. It's suffering. And suffering without meaning breaks people. It crushes them into bitterness, into resentment, into despair. So let me be clear. This is not motivation. This is not comfort. This is a warning. If you do not orient yourself towards something higher, if you do not voluntarily take on the burden of purpose, then you will be overwhelmed by the weight of your own existence. You will flinch from responsibility. You will look away from your potential. You will dissolve into a person you don't even recognize. And the worst part is, you'll feel it. You'll feel the weight of what you could have been, and that weight is heavier than any burden you might have carried voluntarily. So before we go any further, ask yourself this: what am I building with my life? Because if you're not building something meaningful, something real, you're building regret. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. When was the last time you woke up and felt truly alive? Not just existing, not just checking boxes, but actually living with direction, with hunger, with fire in your chest. If that question stings a little, good. That means you're still conscious, still aware that something's off. Because deep down, you know, you're meant for more than this, more than the comfort, more than the endless dopamine, more than chasing distractions while your life slips quietly through your fingers. And if you're feeling that tension, that gnawing pull inside you, listen to it. It's not anxiety, it's your potential screaming to be realized. The truth is this: if you do not find purpose, something deep, meaningful, and rooted in responsibility, the world will eat you alive, not instantly, but slowly, quietly, until one day you wake up and wonder where the last 5 years of your life went. So this isn't a motivational speech. This is a warning, because life will break you. The only question is, will it break you into pieces, or forge you into someone worth becoming? You wake up, roll over, and check your phone. Notifications, distractions, dopamine hits before you've even stood up. And yet, deep down, something feels off. You know you're not living the life you could be. You feel it in your chest. That dull ache, that whispering voice that says, there must be more than this. You weren't born for this. To float through existence, numbing yourself with endless scrolling, fast food, passive entertainment, and meaningless conversations. There is something inside you, a whisper faint but persistent, that knows you are meant for more than this comfort, more than this drifting. But here's the brutal truth: if you do not find purpose, something deeper and rooted in responsibility, the world will chew you up and spit you out, because life is suffering. You can't avoid that. Pain, loss, disappointment, they're inevitable. And if your suffering lacks meaning, it becomes unbearable. That's not philosophy. That's psychology. That's reality. We are creatures wired for struggle, but we are also wired for transcendence. So the question is not whether life will be hard, it will be. The question is, will it be meaningful? Will it be worth the suffering? Because a man without purpose is not just lost, he is dangerous to himself, to others, to the world. He drifts, he blames, he collapses. But a man with a clear aim, he is unstoppable. To live without a purpose is to drift toward destruction. If you are not aiming upward, then you are sliding downward, because there is no neutrality in the human experience. You are either climbing or you are falling, and many don't realize they're falling until they've already hit rock bottom. People say, I don't know what I want to do. And that's understandable. In a world full of noise, distraction, and false idols, it's easy to lose sight of what matters. But it's not an excuse, not for long. If you don't know what to aim at, then your first job is to explore, to search, to fail, to try over and over again, because action, even confused action, is infinitely better than paralysis. The alternative is stagnation. It is a quiet despair that poisons every waking hour. It's a sickness of the spirit, and it spreads, and your goal, your purpose, doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be noble at first. It just has to be better than the chaos you're currently drowning in. Start there with the smallest, clearest improvement you can think of, and move toward it like your life depends on it, because it does. So ask yourself, what do I deeply admire? Who do I want to become? Think about the people who inspire you, not just because of what they have, but because of how they carry themselves. Then reverse engineer it. Break it down into something actionable, something you can wake up and move toward. Purpose isn't found in a flash of inspiration. It is uncovered slowly in the trenches by those willing to carry weight and confront themselves honestly. It emerges through repetition, through error, through the painful process of becoming. Who are you, really? Are you the sum of your impulses, the desires you chase, and the excuses you make? Or are you something more, something that can choose to rise, even when it hurts? Identity is not something you simply discover. It is something you forge, and the forge is hot. The process is uncomfortable because it demands sacrifice. You craft identity through discipline, through the burden you willingly accept, through the battles you choose to fight. Responsibility is the crucible where character is formed. When you accept a load, and I mean truly commit to it, whether it be your health, your family, your purpose, your work, you start to transform. You begin to respect yourself. And that's not something that can be faked. That kind of self-respect can only be earned. There's an undeniable dignity in someone who carries weight voluntarily, who stands up straight, not because life is easy, but because they've decided to act like it matters. That person is dangerous in the best possible way. They're stable, grounded, reliable. They are the kind of person others look to when chaos erupts. You want to become someone worth becoming? Start by becoming someone useful, someone who does not crumble under pressure, someone others can count on, someone who counts on himself. Pick up a burden, not because you want to suffer, but because you want to grow. You want to become. And the path to becoming runs through fire. Discipline is not punishment. It is structure. It is order. And order is what allows meaning to emerge from chaos. You want a meaningful life, but you sleep in. You say you want to write, but you don't open the document. You want to get in shape, but your sneakers are collecting dust. And here's the conflict. Your desires say one thing, but your actions scream the opposite. And that contradiction will destroy your soul. Because deep down, you know you're capable of more. And every time you choose distraction over duty, that part of you dies a little more. But there's a way back, and it's not through inspiration. It's not through reading quotes or watching highlight reels. It's action, repetition, routine. Wake up earlier, clean your room, go for a run, finish what you start, track your habits, create a system that doesn't rely on emotion. The man who honors his commitments, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, becomes someone who can be trusted by others, and most importantly, trusted by himself. Because without self-trust, everything collapses. And discipline, daily, consistent, ruthless discipline, is the foundation of that trust. It is the bridge from the life you're tolerating to the life you could be living. There is no transformation without struggle. You do not grow in comfort. You do not rise by avoiding pain. You rise by choosing it intelligently, intentionally, voluntarily. The world will hurt you either way. That's a guarantee. But if you choose your suffering, if you face it with open eyes and a clenched jaw, it becomes the very thing that sets you free. It becomes sacrifice. And sacrifice is the foundation of every meaningful endeavor in human history. From building families to building civilizations, nothing great is built without it. When you struggle toward an ideal, you align yourself with the very nature of growth. You stop asking for life to be easy, and you begin asking to become strong enough to handle it. You stop wishing for comfort, and you start chasing capability. That shift, that single shift in mindset can change everything. Because once you stop fearing the struggle and start embracing it, you become formidable. You become someone no one can break. In the end, this is not about becoming rich or famous or admired. It's about becoming someone your future self will look back on with gratitude. Someone your younger self would have been proud of. Someone who lives aligned, grounded, and awake. You do not need to be perfect. You will never be. But you must not allow that truth to become your excuse. You must still try. You must still aim. Because the only alternative is collapse. You are here. You are breathing. And you have today. So decide, what are you aiming at? Who are you becoming? Because when you answer that with honesty, and you pursue it with discipline, and you embrace the suffering that comes with it, you will not only survive life's chaos, you will transcend it. And in doing so, you will become something truly worth becoming.